Welcome back to the channel, guys. Thank you for joining me on another video. I hope you're feeling really good in here. It seems that every time that I talk to you, something is breaking, and you guessed it, in this video, we're gonna try to figure that out. Let's go. So I'm having a problem with my door lock actuator for the trunk. The trunk is unable to close, and I'm thinking there's a spring in here that sometimes comes undone. Maybe that's the issue because I can't close the trunk at all and it's not locking. Also, the latch here is just moving back and forth like this. It's not, doesn't have any resistance to it. So I think something in there got disconnected. Hopefully that's it, because otherwise it's gonna be the whole assembly with the motor, and I'm not against replacing it. I just was actually prepping to shoot a different video for you guys. I'm about to do suspension on my wife's 128, so I was gonna shoot that, and then this happened. I came to the trunk to open it to get something out of it, and lo and behold, it gave up the ghost. There we go. And this just slides off. Perfect. Yeah, it has these little two nipples that go in here, and then it's just held on by two clips. There are two Torx 30s in here. Use a ratchet and an extension, and you can take those out. And then take this last one out. If you need to mark where that went, you can do so. I think most of the time the paint is marked up right there, so you can see actually exactly where it went. So you don't need to mark it because there is some adjustability right here. But if you need to mark it with something to make it easier for you, yeah, you can go ahead and do that. This is the latch pulled down, and as you can tell in there, there's a spring. Now that spring is just chilling there. It shouldn't be there. It should be attached to a little arm that I'm gonna show you. So I think that everything looks good. I don't see any broken pieces anywhere, because there are some plastic pieces in there, like the little arm that the spring attaches to is plastic. So if that breaks, then you have to replace the whole thing. As far as I know, I don't know if there's a way to fix that, but it just looks like the spring came off. So let me show you how to put that back, and hopefully, you know, that'll do the trick. Here's the spring, and upon closer inspection, I took it out and it actually is broken. So that's why it stopped working all of a sudden. This is actually very common on these cars. So if you ever have a problem with your trunk lid not closing, you don't hear the servo operating, you don't hear the actuator moving, check the spring first, take it apart and just check the spring. That might be your issue. I'm just gonna go to the junkyard and see if I can just get a tiny little spring, because I need it today and most retailers won't have it available. It's kind of an obscure part. As it turns out, nobody has this spring. I tried 3 different hardware stores. I went to Home Depot, I went to Lowe's, and nobody has it. But somebody did say, why don't you try a lawnmower repair shop? Something like a small engine repair shop, because those springs look like the ones that connect the governor to like the butterfly of an intake. And he's correct. And I actually went to a lawnmower store in my area, and lo and behold, the guy found me this. Now granted, it's not the same, of course, it's thicker than the other one, and it's longer, but it is the same size on the coil length here, and it is about the same stiffness of the spring. The guy said, just go ahead and cut the arms to fit and then bend new hooks on them. I don't know if that's going to work, but it actually doesn't sound like half a bad idea. It's not stupid if it works. As I always say, it ain't dumb if it works. And if this does work, it'll save me 250 bucks, because this spring, he just gave it to me for free. And BMW does not want to sell this spring. They want to sell you the entire door lock actuator, which is $250. Even Pelican Parts, I think, has it for $240. And I just didn't want to go through all that. fully aware that that's not the prettiest. The bends are a little crooked, but that should be about the same size as the original hooks, and the overall length of this spring should be the same as the original one. Yeah, and with the nice hooks that I did at the end, it should actually work. I am 25% excited about this and keeping the rest of my expectations really low. I got this spring installed, and as you can see, it's holding its weight. It's not really rubbing on anything. I think it's actually sitting in there really nice. And if anything, this may be considered an upgrade. I mean, this spring being longer and beefier, well, not longer necessarily, but just thicker, should actually hold maybe a little bit longer, maybe not. Who knows? We'll see. Now I just got to put it back together and see if it works. But so far so good. Now, if there's any other pieces of plastic broken in there and I don't know about, then this might not work. And if that's the case, then again, I'll just have to buy the entire lock from BMW. But so far it looks promising. So let me put it back together and see if it actually works. The whole striker is back together. I have not put on the plastic cover because it doesn't need it to test if it's functional. So I'm gonna close it. I don't have anything in here. And it's not like you can lock the trunk either. If it's still broken, it'll just pop back up. I think I aligned it properly, so let's see if that actually works. Where's my keys? I don't know where my keys are right now. Nope, maybe I didn't align it properly. All right, well, it did lock. Okay, I found my keys. I think the car's locked, and that's why it just slammed down, but I never heard the servo soft close the trunk here. I don't know if it needs to reset or whatever. I didn't unplug the battery or anything, so it should work. So I'm going to unlock the car fully. And now, let's see if this works. And there it is. I never doubted myself, of course. And there is the soft close. That is amazing. It seems to be holding up just fine. It does seem to be opening a little crooked though. Let me see. Yeah, I feel like it's opening crooked. So I think I need to move this just a little bit and hopefully it'll close, because from this distance it closes, but it feels like the trunk shifts when it does close. Yeah, I think it shifts that way. So I'm gonna have to adjust the striker or the actual lock. But there you guys have it. I mean, if you're having problems with your trunk not closing, please check the spring first. And if you're able to find the spring, and that's the big if, then this should be a pretty cheap repair. As long as no other plastic part is broken within the door lock actuator, it should be pretty easy. The toughest part, honestly, was finding the spring and then kind of getting the spring hooked up to the little arms in there, because it wasn't the original spring. But if you get the original spring, you should be able to hook it up really, really easy. If that doesn't work though, it might be a fuse. Check your fuses. If that's still not working, check your cables. Sometimes the cables can get frayed. So just kind of follow the connector. There's a connector in there and there's some wiring to it because it has power. And if none of those works, then you'll probably need to bite the bullet and buy the brand new part. I think I got away with it this time. We'll see how long it lasts. And of course, I will update you if it breaks and when it does break. But for now, I'm very happy about this. I got my car back, got the trunk working again. So that's gonna do it for this video. Thank you so much for staying till the very end. I appreciate you wholeheartedly. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, give it a like, leave a comment down below. I will see you on the next video, and until then, be good to each other.